If
All right. So the
Wanda,
players started already the draft.
yes. So we are watching the draft of Wanda against MrHeckles of the Wondercup 2019. It's the first round of the losers bracket. Both players are facing elimination, and we are quite late into the draft. And yeah, what do you guys think about the bans?
Yeah, they banned pretty good civs in my opinion. Turks in Spanish can be really dangerous. Castle Age and Impa 2 as well. And the Picket civilization seems to be good too. I mean, Slavs, Malians, Teutons, they are all top arena civs. What do you think about it, Chris?
I think it's interesting that they ban Spanish and Turks because, in my opinion, they have a very similar playstyle. So they can do this castle drop in Castle Age and have a very strong unique unit that can dominate early Castle Age and also do fast imp behind it. So I don't know if they are both afraid of the opponent having this Civ or they don't want to play this Civ. I'm not sure about it.
Well,
Yeah,
And
I think so.
personally,
yeah,
I'm
Civ's big.
okay. Personally, I'm surprised to not see Aztecs here because I think Aztecs was pretty heavily banned or picked civilization in the previous matches. So, what do you guys make of that?
I think they just don't feel that confident with Aztecs because they are really strong, but you need to know how to play them. Otherwise, it could be pretty titanic. But I think they have really good civs still. The last two picks was really great.
Yes.
Like Fumiz and Malay, I really like them.
Yeah. By the way, Kebab is MrHeckles and Beefsteak is Wanda. So,
Okay, so we see Vikings again. It's interesting because the last two games, or the last two best of threes we saw, we had Vikings. They every time they were picked, they lost. I think so. Let's see how Vikings can perform today.
Yeah, let's see. I don't really like that pick, honestly. But of course, they can be a really good civilization. But against Teutons, Portuguese, Malay, and even Italians, I don't think it's the best choice you can do. But let's see how is this going to happen.
I agree. I think Vikings can be very good counter to Archer civs because you can do fast siege ram with this insane food eco. But yeah, as you said, against Teutons, Portuguese, Malay, maybe they can work against Italians. But then again, Italians have condos, so
Yeah,
let's see.
Sure.
so overall,
Let's see what is he planning to do.
which picks from which player would you prefer in this best of three? Like, who had the better draft for himself?
Well, in my opinion, they are pretty even. Maybe Kebab had a little bit better civilizations. Just in my opinion, of course. I would prefer Kebab position, MrHeckles position, this matchup.
Okay, so Joey, what do you think are interesting Civ matchups with these picks?
Let me check. Teuton Slavs could be interesting. Maybe I don't know. I think it's the only one matchup which I would really like to see because those civs are really different from each other. Malay, of course, Malay. It's a really strong civ, but I don't see a really counter to Malay there, except for Slavs.
Yeah.
Maybe against two, but I prefer Malay, of course.
Yeah. But we don't have to speculate any longer. We are in the game. On the right side of the map, in the yellow color, we have Wanda playing as the Teutons, whereas on the other side of the map, in green, we have MrHeckles playing the Vikings in the first game. So let's have a look on the maps. So let's start with Wanda. What do you guys think about his map?
Well, the first thing that jumps to my eyes is that his are outside, so he might have to lead if he wants to lure them in, which is never a good start. His main gold is in the back though, it's very safe, and he also has more resources like stones and secondary gold as well, and some space to boom. So all in all, I'd say it's a fairly good map for Wanda. And for MrHeckles, he does not have space in the back to boom, so it's more like this standard cage-like arena map for him, and therefore his resources are also all of them actually at the front, or even outside, so only the main stone, the main gold inside. So I do prefer Wonder's map here.
Yeah, I agree, man, for sure. I mean, that map from MrHeckles is the worst map I've seen in a long time, honestly. And the problem is I don't see how Vikings could play this aggressive in Castle Age, and Trash it's not even an option against Titans, so I think he's in a really bad position already.
But don't you think
His
that
base is
Vikings
so thin.
eventually would have a timing against the Teutons because they have such a good eco?
Yeah, I mean, of course, Vikings could be a lot of, also could have a really good early Imperial Age, but you need to get to this because I don't think you can just boom 3TC without to have map control. So with this map, especially against Teutons, because they could smash. I mean, if Wonder scouts his map and he sees his main gold and main stone forward and all the other resources, he could even decide to go aggressive, like Monk Crash or something like that. What do you think, Chris?
I think Monk Crush against Vikings, I'm not sure, but I think there are better civs to Monk Crush, in my opinion, because Vikings can have such a great boom, especially in the early stages, getting free hand card right away in Castle Age. So I think they can defend with siege of their own and maybe crossbows.
Sure, of course, but I mean, his resources are so exposed. I mean, if he can get in, he can just splash the main gold, the main stone, and the MrHeckles will be literally out of resources.
Yeah,
Because
that's
he has
true.
everything outside.
That's true. If you can push in very fast and deny this main gold, MrHeckles may be in a lot of trouble. That's true. That's one thing I want to mention, that Wonder is placing a house between his two gates, which he might do this just every game. But Heckles actually went for the scouting of Wonder's wall straight away, so he just got his first sheep, did sheep exploring inside his base, and then went straight to Wonder's base, and actually saw one of the stones outside. So I don't think that he'll trust. No, he has putting a second lumber camp now. But it's interesting that Heckles, who's known to be more of a defensive player, is scouting Wonder's map right away.
Can you say that?
Maybe get. Yes, go ahead.
Can you say that placing the house at the gate in the corner is like kind of paranoid already, or is it just safety first? You don't want to take the risk if a tower rush would be to come and they do the jump over the edge?
Yeah, well, I mean, you need to play some houses, of course, and if he's right there, he can just put one more in the corner just to be sure he will not get trashed, because he has a really safe map, and it wouldn't be not ideal to get trashed from the corner. I mean,
yeah,
I think it's not a bad decision. Of course, I would not trash with Vikings against Teutons because it doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Just to feel safe.
And also, even if you got through this, so I mean, you see the tower when it's built between the two gates, so you actually have some time to wall the corner in until you're up as well. So I think even if he would have gone for the tower and there was no house behind it, I think Wonder would have still been fine.
Yeah, they used to place a market there just to make sure they can get in.
Yeah.
But I mean, what I do always is if I see that my opponent is going up early, checking the score or something like that, I just put my scout there, just to make sure they cannot build anything and they can build a house, so they cannot tower up.
That's smart.
One big thing in the game, Wonder still hasn't pushed his deer, and it's probably risky now to open the vault since MrHeckles could get to Fuel Age anytime, and then Fuel Age Scout with the increase in tech damage could be in the base. So I guess he will play without his zebras.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
he's doing right now.
He's going for it.
He's opening right now. I think he's going for it because it's over 10 minutes and he's pretty sure that he will not get trashed anymore.
Yeah,
That's
makes
what
sense. But he already placed 5 farms. I think 5 farms even without the zebra could be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean zebra is always nice to have, of course.
It's just free food. Why not?
So we see Wanda with the barracks, so he might contest, or he very likely contest map control with scouts, I believe, being Teutons, to secure the relics. Speaking of which, Joey, what do you think about the relic positioning?
Oh well, I would say the Wonder is too close on this base. The one on the top, it's not that close, but it's closer to the Wonder base, of course. Heckles has True closer to his base. I think they are better for MrHeckles in that matchup.
Now,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
what I noticed over the games, like the relics on this map always spawn on the outside. I've never seen a relic spawn in the middle of the map.
Oh yeah, that's true actually. Good point. I think they used to spawn in the with the standard arena. I think they used to spawn inside the walls as well.
Yeah, I think this is a thing about this particular arena version we are playing here.
Okay, yeah, that could be. Okay, so we see Wanda
same uptime.
Yeah, but Heckles was, I think, one will. Yeah, he's one will behind.
No, behind actually.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
And also, one thing, Heckles actually scouted the stable, or he could have. I think he must have clicked onto the buildings, so he knows that scouts are coming. I think that's a bit sloppy from Wanda to show the building.
Yeah,
Like it's
big mistake.
It's a big information to have for Mr. Heckles.
I think even the barracks was in range as well. Let me check. No, it's not. Okay, but the stable is.
Okay, so we see Wanda with the 4 on gold, so that's probably 1 monastery, I'd say, not 2.
Yeah.
And only the 2 on gold for Heckles, so he might not even get a monastery.
Yeah, I think now that you know that the enemy is on scouts, you probably don't want to do it anymore. Like the only relic he can safely get is the one in the corner on the left corner, which is basically in his own base. But the other relics would be risky to get.
Yeah, the one at the top, closest base, is actually not so nice to get because the gate on the left side is actually locked. There's a stone and the trees are blocking the gate, so he would have to delete a wall to have a fast path to this relic.
Which is pretty risky.
That's a nice catch.
Scouts outside already.
Exactly.
So
Castle Age for Reckless is putting a TC on the left side.
Oh, the scout is trapped. Caught between a rock and a hard place.
Oh, that's a very big deal. Now you can safely...
And Wanda is going for knights. What are you making of this?
Who is going nice?
Wanda, or at least he made 1 knight. Let me check the stable. Not doing anymore, but he made 1 knight.
I don't think that makes sense because I did not see any units from Vikings.
I mean, Vikings could go archers to counter scouts and monks. Yeah, but he hasn't scouted anything, and I think it's better to wait until you see units, and then you can still make knights. But yeah, I'm not sure.
He also didn't spot the 5th relic, like the relic above his base, so he knows the other 4 relics on Mr. Heckles' side and the one in the south, but not the one in the north. But that's also part of the map. He could explore a little bit more, so he will probably find it sooner or later.
That's a bit sloppy though. I mean, even if you, like, especially when you go scouts, you have, how many does he have? 3 or 2? I think 3 scouts. He should have scouted the entire map by now, I think.
Yeah, and they showed the scout closer to the walls, so he could spot all the resources from Heckles. I mean, he sees 2 golds outside, so he might know that Heckles has only the main gold inside his base. He should just go closer to the walls.
And he also
sees the TC here, so...
Exactly. Yeah, I mean...
He should know that there is something.
Exactly.
So, Wanda sending the monk to secure the most far away relic for himself. The relic very close to Mr. Heckles' base. Should send it back now. MrHeckles actually built a siege workshop. This is just, I guess this is just for pure defense because he has no clue at all what could be coming his way. And Wonder's also sending a villager forward. Now the game will probably get a little bit faster and more aggressive.
Yeah, he saw the TC, I think, and that the TC is easily harassable by mangonels, which makes sense.
Yeah, I like the siege workshop actually. How many TC does he have? 3 already? Okay. Up and running. But Eccles has so much more wins. 5 already. Maybe Wonder did some idle time. Did you check, guys?
Wonder was opening with 2 TC for the longest time and added the 3rd TC a little bit later compared to MrHeckles.
Okay. I missed it.
Wonder still doesn't
Mango
have.
coming up?
Yeah, Wonder still doesn't have wheelbarrows, so the food eco for Heckles is a lot better than that of Wonder's right now.
Oh, he's doing outpost rush actually. Okay, but he still cannot see the forest stone. Oh, there we go, he's doing the right outpost now. Now we'll see that Eccles is the 7 villagers.
Okay. Yeah, I like the outpost. I mean, the outpost at the top where the siege workshop is a waste because it's in range of the TC. But I like outposts in this sort of mangonel war. I mean, it's very likely that MrHeckles will defend mangonels at this point. So having outposts just to see a little further than the range and the line of sight of the mangonel can be crucial to win the micro war.
Yeah, it's a really good thing. Oh, what's he doing? He's doing a tower here. Right in front of his main.
Oh, and he's getting Town Watch, I like that too. It's a very crucial upgrade for outposts. So now he'll probably stick up the base after this is finished.
Wonder is not producing from all TC. Doing a lot of idle time.
Oh, and Green just lost the mangonel by accident when the mangonel was just shooting the TC, but the mangonel from Heckles went into the perfect spot to just get destroyed.
Lucky.
So yeah, this TC is under a lot of pressure.
Second siege workshop from Wonder at the bottom.
Do you think that's a good idea, or is this just overkill? Like, he's barely producing out of his first siege workshop at the moment. Like, he's not producing at all.
Yeah, I don't like it, I think.
You want to see it idle?
I mean, he'll not kill him with this push, I think, so that's why he should probably...
Oh, and another mangonel died in the same way as the first one. And Heckles seems a bit tilted, riding the bow.
Yeah, so Kingcat, what do you think? What is Heckles' best options right now?
Well, I don't know. You have to win some mangonel wars in the first place, I guess. Like, you have to you get like a good shot and push them back from your TC, so you can start to mine gold again. Because at the moment, Green is not MrHeckles is not mining any gold at all because he's busy repairing the TC, and he doesn't have access to the 2 other golds because they are outside and units from Wonder are around. So
Yeah,
if you can't
that's true.
if you can't stop that, the game will probably end really fast, in my opinion.
So there we go, a castle.
Yeah, this is
I
the
don't like this castle.
game-deciding moment.
But I don't really like that castle because he can still hit his main goal from top side.
Yeah, it's true.
And he can also hit his villagers, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I was just about to say it, so maybe one tile too far forward.
But he has the watchtower there. He'll get it up, but it'll be a little micro-intensive to it. Oh, another shot.
So we see bloodlines, scale holding armor. Okay, he's going for cavalry.
By the way, both players are on the way to Imperial Age and not far apart. Basically, they will hit Imperial Age by the same time. But yeah, MrHeckles is struggling to get the castle up. Wonder has enough money for a castle on his own. Where do you think should he place this castle? Should he go completely offensive and place the castle at the secondary goals of MrHeckles, or do you place it more in the middle or near the push towards MrHeckles' castle, so you can directly go into a trap war with the Viking castle?
Well, he knows that he's up now. Doesn't make sense anymore to do a castle forward because MrHeckles will get traps out first. But yeah, I prefer... there we go, exactly there. Because he can deny the other 2 goals and the main stall also.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about the transition to knights from Wonder? Is it too obvious or is it the right choice?
I think it's the right choice because the guy is under pressure and yeah, well, I'm not too sure because he can actually see on the scouts that they are already upgraded. I think he sees that and that's why he's going pike. So it was not really the right choice. I think he could kill Vikings just with standard infantry and onagers in this case and try to push with traps, something like that. Cavalier is maybe not the right choice. But well, Vikings get only pikes, they don't have a Bombardier. I don't think Heckles has the eco to afford that upgrade for infantry. How is it called?
It's
Chieftains, yeah, Chieftains, yeah.
Costs 400 food and 300 gold. That's too expensive one right now.
So the first trap is out for MrHeckles. Shooting down on the castle of Wonder. Wonder himself is also building traps now. Made 1 Teuton Knight, is queuing another one, so will he go into Teutonic Knights after his Cavaliers?
I don't think so. It's all too expensive. You cannot afford it. Doesn't even make sense.
But Wonder actually is not repairing that castle. That feels a little bit like a waste since his villagers are really close by at this gold. Like he will surrender this castle instantly.
Yeah, but I don't think that he has a shot at killing the traps. So unless he had his own traps, but he was always have fewer traps since the castle was up later. So I think going into this trap war full on is not a good choice for him. Like he knows that he has the advantage. Oh yes.
Don't shoot the castle, shoot the villagers, man.
Heckles is killing 2 mangonels with 2 pikes at the moment between the 2 bases.
And he doesn't get the quick wards against the paladins, but Mangonel would have been there anyway, so this castle gets denied, which is...
Oh, and he got
in. The floodgates are open.
And those spikes only have +2 with defensive upgrade. I don't think they will work.
No.
I would like to see end cannons, onagers and bomber cannons from Zeke now.
Yeah, that combination basically counters everything Viking could produce, like onagers against archers and 10 cannoneers against any infantry unit.
Yep. And he has also so much more villagers, like 25 more actually. Yeah,
now
like...
Heckles is pushing with 2 soon-to-be 6 rams and 4 pikes guarding the first ram. Let's see if they can achieve anything.
Yeah, because just send for paladins and clean up
Yeah, what do you think about the siege ram investment? Is it the right call for Heckles?
I don't really think so, because the guy has paladin and he doesn't have so much pikes to get into this pressure what he's doing right now. How are you supposed to kill Eco with just 4-5 runs? I mean, if you build there like 2 or 3 siege workshops, 4 barracks, of course you can push, but only with those 6 games it doesn't make sense. Go forward.
Yeah. And Wonder already has built the ranges, and he already has chemistry and 10 cannoneers on the map, so I think there's no way that MrHeckles can push the area where his 2 secondary golds are back, so he will be strangled out slowly off of gold, and yeah, will run out of good units.
Wonder sees that relics on the top actually, but he's not going for it. Not sure why.
Yeah, he probably has other stuff to do because he knows he just has to keep the left side of the map and he will win that game that way, so he has no time to think about the relic anymore. That's what I would think.
Now we're seeing ranges from Heckles. Ballistics coming in, Botkin already done, so it's probably the Arbalest switch to counter the hand cannons. But what gold does he have left? There's 3 piles.
Surprisingly, he has a lot of gold in his bank account, like close to 1,800 gold, so he will probably be able to make one more army and have one shot to push the left hand side, and get his golds back.
Well, Wonder has a lot of paladins and cannoneers without upgrades. I would like to see more bomber cannons or even onagers. I think just with onagers and 2 or 3 for bomber cannons, he could win the game. Because he has so much more army than Necklace.
Yeah, that's true. Wonder's nearly top cap right now.
Yeah, I think this should be the moment where you just push in wherever you can, because you have this really gold efficient army at the moment, and the longer you wait, the better the army of the enemy will be, because he will have the time to produce better units.
We're actually seeing
Take the best fight.
Yeah, the hand cannoneers are really badly out of position.
Yeah.
Fighting only with one half of the army.
and GG is called.
There we go. Well played, Wonder. Well played. I really liked how he played aggressive. He put that siege workshop in front of his goal. He did some pressure. He boomed behind this. I think he played really well. What means MrHeckles' map was so bad, man.
Yeah.
But he should have done some aggression or just some units in castle age to get map control and not just boom blind. Of course, this is not going to work.
Yep.
So what steps can we expect now?
So I would think, since this is like the elimination game, if he loses this game, then Heckles is out of the tournament. So I would probably pick Slavs, because I would consider that one the strongest out of those civs. I think they have such a strong boom that you should be able to make a push work against any of the other civilizations. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think Slavs is the best option he has in this case. Just boom safe into Imperial Age. You have such a strong economy. And a lot of options, of course. You can defend yourself well as too, and they are, of course, top 5. What do you think should the Wonder pick in this second game?
Well, I personally would probably go for melee, because melee is like this really flexible civ where you can be pretty safe against early game aggression, because you up so fast, so tower rushes are defended very easily. They also have a pretty sick boom, so you can keep track with Slavs if Wanda expects that Slavs are coming. So yeah, I would expect melee at this moment.
Would expect melee too. I think it's the best option Ziggs have right now.
But do melee hold up against Slavs, or is it? I think it's quite a bad Civ matchup for melee.
Yeah, it's not the best matchup against Slavs, of course, but I don't think the other two options are better.
What
Except
about
if you are going
Portuguese?
to do organ guns in Castle Age or 4
Exactly.
cast, but that's pretty risky.
Yeah, that's true.
Or would you consider that melee would be very, very good against Malians and Burmese, and you can basically play a throwaway game, pick Italians or Portuguese, see how it would go if it was against Slavs, maybe lose that game, but then have melee against Malians or Burmese in the last game and definitely win those matchups?
I'm not sure. I think he could consider this using Portuguese, which is, in my opinion, not really a throwaway game, but Italians, I think, can be very tricky against Slavs. So he might choose Portuguese just to get the Slavs away, like to get rid of the Slavs, and then he has a better chance in the third game. But I think you should always, like, especially when you're not that much out-civved, you should always try to go for the win for each game.
I think I would pick Portuguese because Zik it's in a really good position right now. He took the first game and he can actually try to go aggressive, like all in forward castle, second castle inside his base, organ guns, mangonels, rams, or something like that.
Okay, so we're inside the game now, and we see Italians for Wonder, and as we predicted, Slavs for Heckles.
Okay. So
And
let's see
they're
what's
already
going to
laughing.
happen.
What are they laughing about?
About the Sift, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so let's have a look at the maps, starting with MrHeckles this time. Is his map a little bit better than last time in this game?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I think it's a lot better. His main goal is at the back this time. He also has some space to boom, main stone as well. So although all the other resources are outside his walls, actually, he has a lot, like some safe resources to boom, also some space. I think it's a lot better. And looking at Wonder Space, now he's actually the one with the front main gold. But he has one goal safely, which is almost not seeable, just between the forest and the gate at the bottom of the space, and some safe stones at the back, and also some space to boom. So I think I do like Heckles' map more, but I think Wonder's also fine.
Yeah, funnily enough, I was thinking for a moment that they were playing the same map because the top gate of MrHeckles again is bugged. It's again blocked by the same stone and wood formation.
That gate is always back.
Oh yeah.
And again, there's a relic. Like this map creation procedure seems to be very one-sided, cycling a lot of ideas.
Yeah, man. So what's the way to go in this matchup, guys? I prefer Slavs, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with that map, man. I think they are just too strong against Italians. I don't like Italians. I think Zik should play aggressive in Castle Age. Don't know if that would help, but I don't see what Italians can do in Imperial Age to counter Slavs.
Well, Joey, you're the professional smasher out of us three. So is it a good decision to smash a Slav player, or is it risky?
No, is it not though? Because with that food eco, you can afford a lot of scouts, and of course, it's not the best idea. But I don't see another option in this matchup. Well, you could try to go fast, also 3TC Imperial Age, like condos and cannons maybe. Could be the way to go. Just condos to snipe siege and cannons for infantry. Maybe a 4 castle and traps out and try to do some pressure, and yeah, I think that's the way to go. Or just smash.
What?
But of
And,
course, it's not the best map to smash, but he cannot see it.
Yeah.
I'm having an idea. So since Italians have the little bonus for clicking up, like they're saving resources, would it be an idea to try to go for a gunpowder push onto the Slavs? Like try to go up really fast with your eco bonus, get gunpowder out, and make a push with hand cannon and bombard cannon.
You mean fast imp or
Yeah,
true
out
TC?
of 2 to see then probably.
True TC. I don't think it's the best idea because Slavs have so good eco. He can click up like 1 minute later than you, even with 2TC. I mean, I think he should just do like Modri said yesterday in that matchup, Vikings against Slav. It was. You should go for the relics, like one monastery maybe, because Slavs will do probably scouts with that eco. Try to get those 2 relics close to his base, forward cast later, and cannons, condos, bomber cannons, something like that, and try to win this on the early Imperial Age.
Okay. One tricky part I see in that is that condos are very fast. They have a very fast production and also just swarming across the map. However, if you wait for bombard cannons to break the walls, that might be a little too late because chemistry takes so much time. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. That's why I said you should do a forward castle, of course, and try to get up first and get some traps out. Take some time until you get to chemistry, right?
Okay,
And I
that makes
think
sense.
in that case, called just condos work because you will not have instantly champions in the Imperial Age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just buy yourself time until you get into the right army composition.
Okay, so both are up to feudal age right now. We see 26 pop by Heckles and 27 by Wonder, which I think it's like the 26 pop of Heckles is probably more like a 27 pop having the Slav farms.
Yeah.
So very similar up timings.
But
So,
seems like it's not going scouts. I see only 7 on wood. And he's putting also more farms. I don't see he's going scouts.
yeah, so there's a barracks by Wonder. We see one. Okay.
Wonder has 3, 6, 6, 9 on. Yeah, he's going scouts probably. 9 is the way to go.
I don't like this. Because usually Slavs go scouts and they go scouts so much better because it's not so hard on their eco.
Yeah, makes sense. I would prefer to see Wonder going 1 or 2 monastery, but not scouts, especially against Slavs. Doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Yeah. But this time he places buildings a little bit further back in the base, so MrHeckles won't have an early indication that scouts are coming his way in this game.
Yeah, that's better.
That's true.
So Heckles is already on the way to Castle Age. Wonder picked up right now. Double big shot. Hit axe coming up.
We see 6 on berries for Heckles. Not sure if that's the way to go, having Slavs. I think you should try to farm as soon as possible, so I'd rather put these on wood and then get more wood to place farms.
Mm-hmm.
Did Wonder click Or's color already?
Let me check.
Did you see this?
His farms are all
No.
with farms without horse color.
Yeah, he doesn't have horse color.
Yeah, he put 4 farms, he's doing scouts, but he did not do horse color. I used to do a Scholar Fist when I'm taking Castle Age with the Scout build order, so you can put farms instantly.
And now he's going for the
So I
scout
like
fight.
to go
And
with
I
only one
think
scout,
Wonder,
that's
yeah,
the reason.
Wonder wins it by 1 hit.
Oh.
Yeah, it was lucky. But it makes no sense to take that fight if you have another scout around on the map, because if you lose, you will lose one scout for free.
Yeah, I think you should take the fight when the other one is close enough so that you don't have.
Yeah,
like,
sure, makes sense, man.
Exactly. Okay, so
Oh,
Heckles is
slow.
just placing 2 TCs, no monastery.
Oh, I don't like
So
that
it's-
TC on the top.
Yeah, there's not
no.
really
That's fun.
space for farms over there.
Yeah, just place the one tile further to the bottom right.
It's going for both Sao and Eve Glow. That means it will be a poor boom. Like Steve Rogers did yesterday, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but this is probably perfectly what he should be doing. Do you guys think that he should go on stone basically already now to have the option to get a castle because he has no map control? He knows he has the winning matchup, arguably. And the only way he can lose the game is if he gets pushed really early. So should he be on stone? Heckles. So should he be on stone to be able to defend himself with the castle?
Yeah, sure, but I think in 1 minute or 2 should be fine too. Because he sees scout, also you have seen that the Wanderer is going scouts. That means he is not going to do like smash Siege Workshop forward or something like that. And he has some time before any aggression comes. I think he knows that Wanderer is just going for the relics and map control right now. He's not going to attack his walls.
That's right. And again, Wanda has missed one relic at the top. But now scouts. No, they're not going there. There's also a knight out again.
Yeah, I don't like this. The same thing again. He just blindly makes this one knight, and also he made 3 extra scouts, which I think is also too much.
Yeah, usually you go for 2 scouts more. That means 3 scouts in total. And if you see that your opponent is doing scouts, so you will do light cav and maybe other scouts. But just going to knight without seeing what your opponent is doing doesn't make any sense.
Heckles is sending out the monk, but the relic he probably wanted to pick up is already taken now, and the monk should get killed soon.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
And there's Siege Workshop again by Wanda.
But
we see a third TC by Wanda. TCing the berries. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moments before he was long distance mining those berries to his mill.
Oh boy, I don't like this, man. I don't really like this.
No, berries, like, once you have wheelbarrow farms are even better than berries. So. I mean, it's still free food, but you should have the wood eco to make a lot of farms at the moment.
Yes, man.
So, Mr.
So we have 7 or 8 more villagers for MrHeckles already. Of course, he plays TC first.
He's already placing a barracks as well. What do you make of that? Is that an indication that he wants to play units in Castle Age, or is it just a little bit early, considering he could just boom up a little bit more and then place the barracks later?
Let me check. Oh, yeah, well, he has a lot of wood. He's probably preparing for Imperial Age, I don't know. And he also have already the 2 buildings that needs to go Imperial Age. I think he should put more farms first and then go for the barracks, but he probably think, okay, I need those barracks, I have already the wood that I need, so just let's start to build. But it doesn't even really make sense, because you should put more farms first.
Yeah. I don't think that he needs that many more. He already has almost 30, so I think 30 is always a good amount to click up, especially being Slavs and having hand cards, so that's very nice. But in my opinion, he has too little on gold. But I guess he can sell some wood if he wants to click up.
So both
Yeah,
players
sure,
have
but
mangonels
if
out now.
he's going infantry, I guess he will need a little bit more of food eco.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, he could add these after he clicked up, right?
So Mangonel War, 1 for nothing for Echoes.
Although Wonder had his outposts again, so same strategy as last time actually, exactly the same.
Yeah, it's like placing the
Scouts into
outpost,
Wonder.
and Heckles could think already, yeah, there's probably a siege workshop being built already, and the moment he saw the outpost, he started making his own mangonel, and he actually won the first mangonel fight in this whole match for himself.
Yeah, way to go. Okay, so second siege workshop by Heckles, he clicked up. Wonder also clicked up actually, right behind him, with 8 vills less and no hand card. Just getting Weebarrow right now. And we see 2 additional barracks by Heckles. So what army composition can we expect from Heckles?
Yeah, and another siege workshop too. Yeah, I think it will be like standard infantry and onagers. I think that's the way to go. Maybe siege
Okay.
rams later.
We see some rams now actually. A second ram in queue.
From Wonder?
No, from Heckles, and
From
we
Echoes,
see some
okay.
pikes actually. So interesting.
Oh, is he
Pike.
expecting cavalry from Italians? Well, of course they don't have that bad cavalry, but I don't think it's a good opening. You might expect
Yeah.
like range condos or something like that. That's why I said with standard infantry and onagers you can counter everything Italians can do in every village.
Yeah, but I'm very
Wonder
surprised
is
about the
also
Rams.
really...
Like, he didn't know about the buildings in front of his base, and also pushing out now maybe a little bit risky, or at least deciding to go for Rams and not mangonels to begin with. Could have been risky, but let's see if he can push Wonder back from this forward position.
Well, right now he doesn't have anything against condos, so
Yeah, that's really bad. Yeah, well, Wonder doesn't have that many barracks. He has 1 forward and 1 at home.
he's queuing condos in both, and they are created very fast, so I think Wonder should be fine for now.
He's going even for the Halberdier upgrade without seeing any cavalry. I mean, you can just check the scouts or the knights, and
Yeah.
you will see that there is no upgrade.
Do you guys think that he just makes the Halberdiers as buffer, and he just wants to make a death ball of siege units now, from now on? Spend all his gold into siege units and not on something like champions?
Yeah, I think he knows he needs to go for it because the opponent has condos already, and Alps are pretty useless against them.
He's stacking into long swords now, so he realized that he needs champions.
I just think the Halberdier upgrade was a little bit too much. You could have gone for onagers instead.
Yeah.
He also would have enough money for a castle at the moment, so I would wish that he would place down a castle in this area immediately to get some more security, and especially this 1 gold secured.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
makes
can be risky to build a castle at this bottom side because it's so contested, so I would like a castle at the top side where his 1 stone and 1 secondary gold is, but Wonder actually has his 1 knight and 1 scout there, so if Heckles decides to move out with vills, that can be troublesome for him.
And Wonder...
Chemistry coming up on Wonder.
I think Wonder actually got redemption and converted this 1 mangonel.
Really? I missed that. Ah, he's converting even buildings. Oh boy.
Oh. Okay, but now that 200 swordsmen are out, I think they should be dealing with the condos.
Last game, Wonder was pretty fast with his transition afterwards, and he had hand cannoneers ready. Now, chemistry is just finished, but he hasn't placed any ranges yet to go into hand cannons. So he's staying on condos for the moment. Is that still cost efficient against 200 Swordmen, or how does 200 Swordmen against condos look like?
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now he should just go home because it doesn't make sense to invest more army there just to protect that monastery and that barrack. You should just go home and try to mass some bomber cannons and cannons, of course.
Yeah. And to answer your question, Kingcat, I think it's not at all cost efficient because condos cost 35 gold, whereas the standard infantry only costs 20 gold. So it's a lot less gold investment for the 10 swordsmen, and they win one-on-one, so it's never a good trade for condos.
Yeah. So MrHeckles actually pushed back this little forward. He's placing a castle now to further secure this area.
That fight. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, just go back.
Yeah, Wonder is getting shreked right here.
Wasting units. I don't like the castle by MrHeckles though, it's not protecting anything. I think I would have liked, like, right now, MrHeckles has map control, right? So he could have just placed the castle so near the monastery of Wonder, so to secure this extra gold directly south of this monastery of Wonder, and also kind of protecting the secondary gold of Heckles.
Yeah, it would make more sense to go for it, because right now that castle is pretty useless. Exactly. Well, I mean, you can go for the upgrades, but not more.
Exactly,
yeah.
conscription and probably. But I mean, he doesn't. Like, he's doing siege ram now, so he doesn't need to invest too much into traps, I think.
Bomber tower coming up. Interesting choice.
Okay.
Playing a safe game. So the Knight and Scout of Wonder actually killed like 7 villagers at the top, at the other secondary gold. He's sending 200 swordsmen over now to clear this Knight and get the TC and the gold camp up.
Mems Chadamos is with us, guys. We foresaw that this was happening.
Being rushed.
Yeah.
So now we have Onager and MrHeckles.
So now we have the situation where Wonder actually has the villager lead. He's about 20 villagers up, and he has the 5 relics in his pocket. So what do you guys think? How long, or does it even favor the does it even favor Wonder now? Or does he have a chance now? Can he hold long enough? Is there a chance?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have map control anymore. The guy has onagers upgraded, and he's still having like 4 golds left, no, 3 golds left.
Yeah, there's also one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I think at this point it's just he win if he goes for the siege onagers upgrade and the champions Drozina. But yeah, he's taking just bad fights.
But do you think that Siege Onager is the right choice for Heckles right now, seeing all those bombard cannons?
Yeah, I think yes, because the Italians doesn't get siege engineers, you know.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay.
If you have like 4 or 5 siege engineers, you can easily push those. Of course, you don't need to fight in the near of those bombard towers.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Zik is going for it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like his one-shot, one opportunity kind of push.
Yeah, but he should go for onagers upgrade too, because if Heckles comes now with like 7 or 8 ram, he can clean everything, because he has only 3 condos.
Yeah.
And that's not enough, of course, for.
Yeah, that's true.
For.
But Heckles right now is still struggling a little bit with production. Like, he has a lot of resources, but all his barracks are idle. Also, Siege Workshop now just queued 1 onager each.
Wasting a lot of Johannes swordsmen right now.
Look at Wonder resources, man. Oh boy.
Yeah, Michi resources, right?
So guys, seems like we're going to see a longer game, which I really like.
Which should favor Heckles. I think I would like to see... Heckles right now has 46 farmers, which is more like 60 farmers.
Oh
In
no.
Slavs, so I think, yes, he's doing it finally. He's adding stables at the top. He's just spamming hussars in there and trying to snipe these bombard cannons. So efficient for him, I think.
Yeah, I like this choice. Huh?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
he showed
he could've-
just master Rams, man.
Yeah, he could have done that 20 minutes ago though. He has 5.5k food in the bank.
So both players are yet to take the other third 3-tile goals on the map. Wonder's now placing a TC at the one at the top, whereas Heckles still hasn't taken the one at the bottom left side of the outer forest ring. But yeah, gold so far not too much of a problem for him, but eventually he will have to go there. Mr. Heckles, that is.
Well, Heckles actually has no gold in the bank right now. And only
Oh,
has
I was
12
watching the
gold
wrong player.
minus. I mean, he has some units queued. Okay, no, actually not that many. Finally the champion upgrade for him. Also, since Wonder is mostly focusing on the top and the middle, I think I would send some builds to get this neutral gold that we were talking of, Kingcat, right now, because he can always go back to his own base and like get the one at his walls, which is safer. So since there's no units of Wonder right now, you could safely take this.
Yeah, he's going in with some knights to snipe some bombard cannons, but doesn't change the status quo of the game. Wonder's slowly building up his death ball in the middle, placing more production buildings, securing the gold on the side. Personally, I
really like that TC on the top, securing that gold.
Yeah.
Because he knows the opponent doesn't have any relic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, for Wonder, I guess he just has to hold this position in the middle and eventually choke Mr. Heckles out of gold. Whereas I'm not so sure if Mr. Heckles should still try to push right through the middle, but maybe he should try to build up production on the sides, like on the bottom side or the top side, and try to siege ram and champion push over there, instead of running into this death ball of bombard cannons and hand cannons over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
makes not really sense.
We're seeing halberdiers now, so
It doesn't even have siege engineer. I don't really get it. And he's sending onagers one by one. I mean, with 5 siege onagers, 6 rams, you should push them back. If you don't fight under the bomber towers, of course.
yeah. Yeah, I like Kingcat's idea of trying just to get the bottom part of the map for Heckles, building some stables, maybe some barracks, some siege workshops, and just pushing into Wonder's base, because if you can idle his food eco, there's no production, right? So no production of light calves or further hand cannoneers, so that could be good for
Yeah,
him.
sure.
And also he
Like
will have to
with
react to it.
Giant, yeah. Makes sense. Wonder is doing tower rush, actually. Oh boy, oh boy. Just rush your enemy for 50 minutes. That's what he would say.
Heckles still has 1 stone close to his stables, left of the stable.
I didn't see.
He also actually got quite a lot of bombard cannons with the last cavalry raid, I guess. Now getting another one. He's at least reducing the bombard cannon count for the moment. And
It's true.
Yeah, he managed to spend all his food into Light Cav, and he's getting some value out of it. Like, getting rid of all the bombard cannons now, and also fighting against the hand cannons.
Yo,
Yeah,
and
the-
Asara back on up. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, he's coming back. Placing 2 more siege workshops at the top, probably to get some siege rams.
Yeah, he sent right now like 5 siege rams. That's what I was expecting. Finally.
Oh yeah,
Just try to push his walls. Maybe try to get in with some SRs.
So now there's a little
But I don't
push
know why
at the
Heckles-
bottom going on with 4 siege ram, but Wonder actually converted one. That's funny.
Oh boy!
Yeah, and this is easily stopped with condos. That's why I think, like, why is doing helps? Just get this neutral gold at the bottom, and instead of helps, spam champions, which would kill Hussar and condos.
Yeah. I don't know, he probably had no vision over it, but now after he plays those siege workshops, he sees it now, and now he should definitely send a lot of villagers there to take that one.
Okay. Ah, he didn't see it before?
I don't know, I haven't checked that, but it could be possible.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. And he also doesn't see the stone, which is very shy, only accessible from 2 tiles.
Yeah.
So
One
Wonder
tile,
is
actually.
trying to check if Eccles is taking the gold on the left side. And he's raiding the villagers, trying to get to the other gold close to the walls, maybe? Yeah, he's going. I like that move.
Yeah.
Heckles still doesn't have plate barding armor.
For SARS.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he missed +4.
Yeah. I think even if he didn't have the gold, it's always worth. Like if you're in a full trash war, it's always worth to sell even 1k of one resource just to get this upgrade. It's so crucial.
Yeah. So the top side for MrHeckles is collapsing pretty hard at the moment, and also the woodcutters have opened his base, so there's direct access for Wonder to push in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his base is actually open, you will chop a lot.
And
Wonder
he's-
could just get in and try. Oh, he's doing even a bomber tower on his gold.
yeah, he's
I
securing
like
that.
how Wonder is playing this. Was it a castle?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
no,
TC.
it's a PC. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
the castle for poor people.
shit.
Oh,
I'm
GG
so-
coming up, right?
Thank
And
you.
just this moment,
I'm
we are
s-
seeing the GG from MrHeckles.
Yeah,
Wishing
right
Wonder
now,
good
man,
luck.
a little bit.
Thank you. I'm so
Well
glad
played,
I can eat kebab for this month. Otherwise, I would have been really fucked. Personal challenge. If I
Slavs
lost,
overrated, Nick, right?
sorry.
Slavs are overrated, right?
Actually,
I
he could
couldn't-
have
I
won.
couldn't- I
Yeah.
couldn't use lab power. Not overrated, I guess.
Well, I think you should have just massed some more rams in early Castle Age and champions
I did-
instead to
I
Arbaldir
did-
because he had no cavalry.
Yeah. I did everything wrong. I need to go for Cavaliers too. I could have gone, but I didn't. I don't know why. I'm not really experienced in 1v1 arenas, and my micro was disaster. That's why I lost. That's my interview, by the way.
Yeah.
Interviewing yourself, I like it. Do you have any more questions for yourself, Heckles?
I can ask me why I'm playing so bad, but I cannot answer it.
No, you played very well. Like last game, I had to.
Bro,
Played
I
really
remember my old times. I was good, but now I'm really bad. I can imagine it, but I cannot make something to avoid that. But I don't know.
Yeah, well, in the first game you had the worst map ever. I would call it the Joy Map version 3, actually.
Yeah.
But on the second game, I think you had
Yeah,
some
decent map.
possibility. I mean, you was last, you was full boomed, and I think just the army composition was not the best.
Yeah.
You should have gone maybe for champions honors or something like that, and not Albertier, because you did not see any cavalry on the map.
Yeah. I did it to be faster, but it was not necessary, as you said.
Because Italians can just do condos from 3 barracks or so, and can be really
I
strong.
realized it while he did Condotieros, and I tried to switch to champions, but it was late. I
Okay.
lost so many. But that was fun. Thank you for that tournament, Zik.
No problem, no problem. I mean, Chris, do you have any more?
Being a part of this tournament was a pleasure. Thanks.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, I have some questions. Heckles, if you have some time.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I will be appreciated to answer your questions.
Okay. So in the first game, you were Vikings against what was it again? Actually,
Titans.
Teutons, exactly, right. You decided to go for the boom. What was your plan behind this?
I had no plan, bro.
Oh shit! Oh my god.
That was fully Titanic. But I could have gone for siege rams and pikes with unique tech, but it
Yeah.
couldn't work. It could be an option, but my plan was exactly not that one. I had no plan.
Okay.
Do you have any more questions?
He's trying to answer you in a way that you don't ask him.
Well, I had some
we
further
need
questions.
to play Arabia Chris. Arena is not fit for me.
Well, that's the correct answer, actually. No, but yeah, I just want to say that the map was so horrible that going for the boom is so risky.
Yeah, I need to
And
make some aggression in Castle Age. I
Yeah.
realized it while the game finished. It was
Okay.
too late.
Yeah, but I do like that you got the unique tech. I think it's always tough to fight Paladin with only pikes, but in my opinion, Vikings are just the best pikes. And I'm not sure about this, but I think they're actually very close to Halberdiers in a 1v1 against Paladin, having
Yes.
more HP and also this bonus damage. So I think that was a good choice. And also the siege ram could have worked, but yeah, you lost so much villager time repairing your TC.
Yeah, I couldn't collect gold, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was a
well
game
done,
changer.
well done, Wonder. So coming to you, Wonder,
Sure.
you saw the map, right? So then you decided
Yeah.
to push with siege.
Well, regardless his map was good or not, the moment you have map control, you collect relics. Your next thing is, of course, he's going to be ahead in villager count, especially if he's Vikings. So all I wanted to do is just buy myself time until I can mass the best army composition, which would be obviously paladins with the hand cannoners and some gunpowder, which pretty much trashes everything he throws at. And while I was at it, I did see that his map was really, really bad, and all I wanted to do was annoy him and just buy myself time. Like, my whole plan was, once I saw I can easily get all 5 relics as Teutons, and late game I have all the advantage I can think of, all I wanted to do is buy myself time while annoying him. That was it.
Okay, makes sense.
Thanks, lazy.
I mean, annoying with some nice outpost rushing is obviously very strong.
Sorry. Sorry. Well, I was trying to build a tower, and I built his own tower. I got you. I deleted. I was like, I just want him to waste stone, so just, I'm not building anything. That's fine. Sure. Go ahead.
That tower killed one Mangonel.
Really? I didn't actually see that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see
that. Was the only thing they did.
Yeah. Also, in the first game, was very unlucky that Wonder was attacking the town center all the time, and your 2 mangonels just went into the spot of the town center where they would instantly die. So you lost 2 mangonels that way.
Yeah,
that was painful.
That. Yeah, and I didn't micro that, so I'm not gonna take the credit that out micro I killed it.
Well, you could have said now that it was a ground attack from you, but
no, absolutely not. I'm not gonna troll on this one. I did nothing. bam, they're dead. I was like, okay, that's fine. That's great. Good job.
Look
He's
at
just laughing in the background.
Oh boy. But you played really well in the last one, Zik. I like
Black Forest, man. Black Forest.
Black Forest, but it worked, man.
Well, I had no answer. I knew micro a little bit with Bombard Cannon and R, but then I was like, if it pushes me from all two sides with Siege Ram, I can't do this. So I just went as many Bomber Towers to just buy myself time again until I cracked his base on the corner, and that was my plan. But I was scared. Slavs are crazy. I was really scared.
Yeah, that was exactly the army composition we were talking about, and cannons, bomber cannons, and condos. Of course, light cav and whatever in late game. I think that's the way to counter Slavs, maybe. But I was expecting a castle drop before eating Imperial Age.
From me?
Just yeah, from you, yeah. But you.
Yeah, I panicked. I really panicked. Once I saw he's up so fast, I actually thought I may have 1 minute. And as you saw, I kind of panicked. I forgot my chemistry, and the only thing I did at that time was try to connect buildings as fast as possible, just to slow him down slightly if it's possible. But then he still pushed so hard. I was like, oh man, this is tough. That's why I
Yeah,
did
but
instantly.
a question for you,
Yes.
Zik. Why did you go for so many scouts and even one night in Castle Age?
Because first of all, I was like, maybe that was thing, because when I was practicing with the Chris, it was advised that you always either smush yourself, like to take map control with maybe scouts. So I did scouts one night. I just do it for fun, just in case he makes something himself, like. But that was my mere plan. But then I realized I actually too much into this, which slowed me down a bit more than I expected. So maybe the night wasn't necessary at all.
But he did his job tonight, you have to say.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
He
Killed one villagers at minute 35. The villagers. Who is going to do a mining camp on that go?
Yeah, you got perfect value out of that, killing like 6 or 7 villagers. Worth it.
Yeah,
make a night too.
OP night, man.
All right, I'll do one more night next time as well.
I have one more question for you.
Sure.
The first game, you went for Paladin. Do you think it's the right army composition against the Viking?
Absolutely not. Like, if he would have done proper berserks and pikes, it would have obviously given him the upper edge. But here's the thing: I knew I have 5 relics. I knew I could buy myself the army with hand cannoners and paladin, and I was like, why not? What's wrong with that? If I have both, if he switches to skirms or pikes or anything, paladins are not too bad, and then I have full 20, 30, 40 hand cannons behind that. So why not? Why not go for the best mobile army that I, at least with paladins?
What about champions?
Why not?
Champions are great, but I mean, champions still don't still not as good as paladins, man. So why not paladins?
Teutonic Knight.
Oh, Teutonic Knights, dude. Yeah, let's talk about.
Well, he actually made 2 of those.
Well, I made them, but then I realized my castle.
Yeah, I saw
shit.
one Teutonic Knight dying in a castle. I was whining him. Oh, man.
Oh boy.
I was just worried, like in the whole game, I'm always concerned about mobility. So even as I said in the second game, if Heckles went instead of the champions and all that, if he went full hussars, he could have easily killed all my bombard cannons. And then he did that later, and then I lost bad micro. Even within towers, they were still dying. And this is why I think mobility is very important. If I went Teutonic Knights or something like that, I think I would have just not been able to defend both sides of my base or something like that. With Paladins, I can jump both sides, right? Pretty easy. That was my plan.
Too, man.
Yeah, Blaze? Sure. Sure.
They are so strong.
That's true.
Guys,
All right, do you have any questions? Any other questions?
Oh, I
I'm
don't.
waiting for your questions.
Ask him questions.
Chris, ask me something.
I asked you something, Heckles. Do we drink a
Yeah.
beer now?
Oh boy.
That's a good question. Maybe we can. But in Turkey, beer is really expensive. You cannot believe it.
In Germany, it's not. So that's
Yeah,
why.
I know.
Germany, it's,
In Germany, beer is like tea in Turkey.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's a
you
paladin.
pay
upgrade,
more
while
for
mine is a
water
cavalier.
than for beers in Germany.
Oh
man.
my
What the
god.
fuck?
Oh.
Let's play.
Sure, we can play.
So-
Kingcat, you.
Yeah, so if there are no more questions, we can settle it right here. Wonder takes the win over MrHeckles 2-0 and advances to the next round of the losers bracket, which I will show right here. So he will play against the loser of YOLO or
Against YOLO,
Dark.
probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
But first of all, the match Dark
Oh.
against Evo, what is it? Evo IX or Evo the 9th?
Evo 9th.
Evo 9th. So that match has to be played first. The winner of that match plays against YOLO, and the loser of that match is gonna play against Wonder in the second round of the losers bracket. Whereas for MrHeckles, this tournament is ending today. The first player to drop out of the tournament. So
Yeah, that was a big pleasure.
unlucky.
Oh, man. Before the game started, I said I hope you win, and they said I. Let's both delete TC and call GG. Oh, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
so you can cast every game, Zeke, right?
Yeah, I can.
now I'm the caster.
Absolutely.
Not the caster, the commenter could be.
Yeah, you can join us on the next cast. So I will end this here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next game.
Procaster.
Bye bye,
Bye
okay.
Procaster, yes.
bye.